Hey guys, thanks for joining me. Even if you're not in there yet, I know you're going to join soon because some of you are probably going to be popping on your computer, and hopefully you'll get a notification that I'm doing a live stream here on Jungle Joe C. So guys, happy Saturday. It is was it the 21st today? It's the 21st today of May. Man, this month is going quick, isn't it? It's going so fast. I've been working the nursery. We had some customers. The customers just left, pulled the sign in. So we closed the nursery for the day. And now I'm going to relax, and we're heading to a barbecue tonight, which is really cool on the very south end of the island. It's funny, you get spoiled on this island. This island is only just a hair under 17 miles in length. And we're on the very north end, and we got to drive to the very south end. So that's a long drive for us. And it seems like a different world down there, doesn't it? Doesn't the south end seem like a completely different world than the north end?
It does.
That's what Wendy and I tell each other every time we're down there. We talk about that. He says it's just a different world on the south end. I don't know what it is. Maybe because there's more hippies down there or something. It's less populated. The south end of the island is less populated. There's a lot of big farms down there. The whole island is rural, but it's maybe more rural. That's what it is. It's and like I say, the latitude is even more south too. You're 17 miles, just about 17 miles south of here, and we're at 48 degrees north latitude. So we're heading to a barbecue tonight. We went out this morning and went to the coffee shop and sat on the ocean and enjoyed some coffee at Beachside Cafe and looked at the sparkly diamonds on the Pacific Ocean. And then went to the lumberyard. And tomorrow we're going to go see some fainting goats. Yay! So stay tuned for a video, possibly here, Banana JSSI, probably this channel, fainting or Gulf Island Rock. If I don't shoot a video, Wendy will, but I'm mostly likely going to shoot a video too. Good kombucha, Wendy. So current temperature here is around 20 degrees Celsius, and the time is 2:57 p.m. Pacific time. I see 2 watchers in there, so don't be shy. If you want to come in, you can come in. If not, I can just flap my gums here for another hour. Because I'm good at flapping my gums.
Want me to get you more salsa?
Yeah, more salsa. Wendy and I are eating Tostitos. So just finished watering the garden. Wendy, we picked up some lumber for a new gate for the nursery, the smaller gate. So we're putting a new gate in there probably tomorrow. We're going to have to go back to the lumber yard tomorrow. But stay tuned for a video on fainting goats. And tomorrow at 10, we're going to head over to the fainting goat farm. If you've never seen a fainting goat, hopefully they'll faint for us. I hear some woodpeckers. Anyway, 2 things. In the garden, the aloe vera is coming into bloom, our aloe vera plant. It's in the garden. And also I noticed our pawpaw tree, which is a small one. I've had it for several years in a pot. And I did have it in the ground at first, and it just wasn't doing good. It was just too dry where I had it. So I dug it out, put it back in the pot. And now in the ground, it's got 3 flower buds on it. And one of them is actually starting to open up. So that's pretty exciting. But I believe with pawpaw, you actually need 2 for better pollination. So I may not get any fruit on it. I'll keep you updated. I love Tostitos. Anyway, hope you guys are having good weather too. We got blue sky, sunshine, and it's just a nice warm day here on Salt Spring Island. But really lacking the precipitation, and that worries me. This time of the year, it can be so dry. And you know, I was just overlooking at some of our cordyline, and the tips on them are really brown, just from the dryness and the poor rocky soil that we have here. We've had hardly any rain at all this spring. And because they're growing in close proximity to giant Thuya plicata trees, native cedars, those cedar trees are the worst things to garden around, and they suck the life out of every other plant that grows nearby. The things with cedar roots, they will find the good soil. So when I planted the cordyline, I put them in good soil. And those cedar roots, even if they're 20 feet away, will find that good soil, and they'll knit it together. And when they knit it together, any rain that comes down does not penetrate all the way in. It might get the surface wet, but anything below that is bone dry. And digging through there is actually quite hard because there's like millions of cedar roots, and it's a really tough tree to garden around. Oh, Camel's in there. Hello. Camel, good to see you in there. Oh yeah, you guys are 3 hours ahead of us. So it's 5 to 6 where you are. So it is 2:55 here on the Gulf Islands. And like I say, the palm tree customers, we just had customers in the nursery. They just left. And Wendy actually has somebody checking into one of our B&Bs today, which is really cool. It's been really quiet with all the stuff that's going on in the world. Max Lax is in there. How you doing? So one of our B&Bs is going to be full, and that's good for Wendy because that's Wendy's business, the accommodation business. She works in an accommodation on the south end, and then we have 2 accommodations here on our own property. And usually at this time of the year, we're booked up solid, but because the tourism has been blah, it's been not good for her. It doesn't affect me. I'm in a um, I have a good job, and I'm always working 5 days a week, so I don't have to ever worry about it. I'm what they call essential service, my government job, and that's a good thing. Park use is up around 30%, I think they said 30%. So there's lots more park users. A lot more people are getting outside, checking out our parks, our lakes, our nature trails, the beaches. So with my job, we look after all the nature trails on the island. We have about 61 parks here, and we look after the parks, we look after the lake accesses, we look after beach accesses. So there's never a dull moment in my job. I'm around the island all week, looking at different parks and doing different things. And plus, we maintain all the sports fields and all the playgrounds, public washrooms, this, that, and the other. So with more people using the parks, it keeps us very busy. And of course, the graffiti artists. Graffiti artists keep us busy too, because when there's graffiti, parks workers like me got to take it off. So I hope you guys are having good weather too. Humidity here is very low right now. I think sitting around 35%. And I don't know if there's a slight breeze. I don't think there's any breeze. It's just very, very calm here and very relaxing and peaceful. And I hear a lot of birds and I'm seeing a lot of trees. It's great. It's a great day and it's a long weekend here. 92 there. Yeah. So it's 70 here, 70 degrees Fahrenheit here. So just typical for spring. It'll get warmer as we get closer to summer. But we're at a high latitude, so what you see behind me should not be growing here. In my books, no palm should ever be growing in Canada, but they do. For some weird reason, palm trees do grow in this part of Canada. As many as some people don't want to believe it, as much as some people don't want to believe it, they do grow here. Oh, that's cheap, man. I love Livistona. 7 foot for $50. Oh, you got a deal, man. You scored. I would definitely get that. Hey, I tell you what, I got a nice size, another Chef Lara coming. Hopefully Scotty can bring it over to me. So my buddy picked me up a really nice Chef Lara tree. We already have one in our garden, and I got another one coming, which is really exciting because I love Chef Lara, but I also love Livistona. You got an excellent deal, man. And if you could get another one, you should buy it. Matter of fact, if you could get 10 of them for that price, you buy them, Max, and you sell them for more. Double your money. Because you know what? That's definitely worth it. A 7 foot tall. So I'm guessing it's got a pretty good trunk and the fronds are high, right? So I'm guessing it doesn't have 7 feet of trunk. I'm guessing it's probably got a short, fat trunk with long petioles, right? Is that the way it works? How tall is the actual trunk? I'm guessing the trunk isn't 7 feet. If it was, you got even a better deal. I love Livistona. They're one of my favorite palms. And you know, they do grow up in this area in sheltered areas. Sheltered spots, you can grow Livistona chinensis. Oh, lots of butterflies out. So up here, they do like to grow in partial shade. In full sun, they kind of burn out a little bit. But partial shade is best for Livistona, the Chinese. They're called a Chinese fountain palm. I think 3 feet of trunk, man. That is flipping awesome. So I'm guessing the trunk is, wow. Where'd you get that from, man? Like at your nursery? Man, I wish I could get one for that cheap. I'd definitely get it and plant it in the garden. And you know what, Max? It'll do well where you live. Outer Banks, not a problem. Beautiful palm trees. I've collected a lot of seed from Livistona in Honolulu. There's a lot of Livistona chinensis palms in Honolulu. And they are beautiful, man. I like the looks of them way better than Trachycarpus. I mean, Trachycarpus are okay because they grow a lot up here, but I like the looks of Livistona better. It's going to look, Max, it's going to look amazing in your garden. So are you going to leave it in a pot or are you going to plant it? Excuse me, folks, I'm eating Tostitos. And these Tostitos are good. Put it in some good soil. Water it well. Man, I think that nursery lost money on that one, buddy. They definitely lost money on that Livistona, for sure. Up here, one that size probably be a few $100s. Easily. I'm going to say $350 for one that size up here. Which works out to about $50 American. Although the Canadian dollar's gone up a little bit. Definitely gone up a bit. I'd love to see that. Maybe you can make a video of it. That'd be pretty cool. I bought it at a nursery called Nature's Harmony Heading. Wow. So were you actually planning to get a Livistona? Or did you just happen to wander into a nursery and they had it there? Like, it must have been on sale, obviously. I'd love to go to that nursery. So they probably have a lot of sable palms there too, eh? I bet you they have sable palmetto, and I bet you they also have needle palms there too, which would be really awesome. I'd like to see my friend Gary's nursery in North Carolina. Palms USA. Hey, hey, hey. I bet you're having a beautiful day there. We're having a beautiful day here. Here, point her up into the sky. There's some more blue sky for you. I know a lot of people think that's all it ever does is rain here on the West Coast. Well, that is a total myth. You got to remember, I live in a rain shadow. The Southern Gulf Islands are in a rain shadow, so we get a lot less rain than surrounding areas. It was just an IPS call talking about. I was just on an IPS talking about Pacific Eye. Oh, cool. IPS. I used to be in the International Palm Society. Yeah, I used to subscribe to print subs back in the 80s and 90s. 87. Toasty. Gotta love it. Nice. Hey, Joe. How did you know that? What's that, Max? I read your mind, but yeah, Livistona one time. Next time, I promise. That's cool. Dan just got me a bicycle for free, and I've been riding it a lot. Makes right on. You know what, Dan? Bicycles are good. I'll tell you what. I got an old mountain bike I bought in 1987. Wendy's got this kick-ass bike. It's electric. It's a crafty cafe racer. 1,200-watt electric bike, 7-speed. It looks like a turn-of-the-century Harley Davidson. She still have not ridden that thing yet. I swear to God, it's sitting in the living room, and it's basically become part of our household furniture. I told her to ride that. You should wheel that bike out here and show them. You should see Wendy's bike, man. It is freaking killer. It goes 80 kilometers on a charge, and it'll do about, I think that thing will probably do about 55, probably about 30 miles an hour, something like that, 35 miles an hour. Palms USA. Just got me a Ukes and a oh, cool. That's cheap. $4. You got to like that, Palms USA. Okay, Wendy, bring your bike out here. What? What do you mean, no? Okay, you know what? Tomorrow I'll do a live stream, and if you're in here, you'll see your bike. No, I don't grow Majesty palms anymore, Max, because they're absolutely useless here. They're no good as houseplants, and they're absolutely useless outside. So, Ravinia rivularis, done with them. I'll tell you what. A few days ago, my buddy phones me up from the Big Island, which is Vancouver Island. He says, Joe, what do you know about Majesty palms? I says, well, they're useless as indoor plants here because they get spider mites, and they're useless as outdoor plants. Good in the summertime, but once the weather starts to cool down, they're crappy. So I don't waste my time with them anymore. But I've seen them in Southern California. They're absolutely gorgeous palms. Yeah, maybe a conservatory. Anyway, Dan, you will see the bike tomorrow.
Oh.
What?
We're just renovating your motorcycle shed.
We're renovating my Harley shed. So where I keep my motorcycle, Wendy will putting it in there. We're doing a renovation. So once I finish doing that, maybe tomorrow I should start pulling some insulation out. And then once we reno the Harley shed, she's going to put her bike in with my Harley because it does kind of look like an old Harley, right? But where the tank is, her bike's actually got a tank on it, and that's where the battery is. And it's got leather saddlebags, leather seat with springs on it. It's all steel. Got a big old metal headlight in the front, and it's got leather handle grips.
It's called a cafe racer.
They had a ton of tiny ones and little planters. I'm about to plant. Oh, cool. Make a video, yes, and keep us updated on, I think they call it ash gum, cinerea. They're really nice, or silver dollar gum, because they do actually have round leaves. So I'll tell you another one you might want to try is Eucalyptus perenniana. So the spinning gum is what we got cut down, but now I'm kind of having my doubts that it was actually a spinning gum because I was looking at the spinning gum in front of the Chamber of Commerce this morning that I planted. It's so weird. Maybe it's a hybrid or something because I'm sure I took the seed from an old one on our island and grew that, but that was like 20 years ago. But the bark is so multicolored, like a rainbow gum. And the one growing in front of the Chamber of Commerce I planted is not. It does not have multicolored bark on it.
Wow.
I noticed that today when I was looking at it. So it kind of has this rainbow gummish look, but it's not a
It
dead
does.
lupta.
It's beautiful.
There were some big ones at Meadowlark in Northern Virginia. Oh, cool. Right on. So they grow well there. That is good. I like silver dollar gums. I think cinerea are actually a very beautiful tree. And no, we don't have any in our collection, but we have lots of other ones here. I'll tell you what we have.
So what do we have if it's you don't know what it is?
I don't know. Well, I planted it as a perenniana. Spinning gum are nice because they have round leaves on them, juvenile leaves, and the stem goes through the middle of the leaves. And if the old leaves die and break off the stem, they stay on the stem and they spin. They spin around the stem in the wind. So that's why they call it a spinning gum. Hey, Joe, have you ever heard of bluegrass? Yep. We've got blue oat grass and blue fescue grass. And no, it's not invasive here. Not this far north, but it could be where you are. There used to be some massive eucalyptus gunnii. We were taken out in a bad winter. Yeah, gunnii is a pretty popular tree, and there's some big ones on our island. The biggest one on our island was planted in the mid 1980s, and I cannot wrap my arms around it. It is so big. Wow. It's, I bet you it's close to nearly 100 inches around at chest height. It's at the garden fair. It's at Rainbow Nursery. It's absolutely, and it sells seeds all over the nursery. This thing, it is, the branches are like, you could build a tree house in it. It's massive. I'll tell you what we have in our garden. We have archeri, stellulata, gunnii, passiflora, niphophila, neglecta, debusavilli, parvula, caibiensis. I had cordata, but Wendy cut that one down. Unfortunately, that was a really rare one. I had a leggy looking one by my garage. That was a very rare tree. I can't get it anymore. And we have mountain gum, neglecta. I'm just trying to think what else. Nitens. We have some nice nitens. We have a lot of different eucalyptus trees in the garden. And, you know, in town, there's a huge archeri, a massive eucalyptus archeri growing in Centennial Park. And we gave it to the park in 1999. My buddy grew it from seed, and it's so big you couldn't wrap your arms around it now. It's massive. Yeah. So I've never seen them get damaged here. And there's a big nitens growing in town right along the boardwalk. There used to be a bigger one, but they had it cut down by the arborist. They didn't want it. It was too big. They cut down every perenniana in there, that gardener. The palm butcher had all the perenniana cut down. And the neglecta, there was a nice neglecta in there they cut down. So
is she still there?
I think they're trying to get rid of her. There's a nice passiflora left. There's a nice mountain gum. They cut down a lot of eucalyptus trees in there. It's pretty sad. There were so many eucalyptus. Gunnii, I think, still in there. They had parvula I donated, and it grew quite big, and they cut that down. Yeah, there's debusavilli. Joe, what do you think about planting a washi and another less hardy palm in the ground or something? Yeah, you could do it. I would do it. I mean, a lot of people like to grow washies, Palms USA, but you have to remember, you're always going to have to protect it in the winter months. And if you're willing to build shelters over it each year, because you got to remember, where you are, they're going to grow extremely fast. Here, they grow fast, but where you are, they grow extremely fast. And you're going to have to be willing to protect it every year. And every year, it's going to get bigger and bigger. And as it gets bigger, it's going to become more difficult to protect. And one day, it's going to be sad when you have to watch it die. That's the only thing with a washi. And they're beautiful. I mean, you could cut all the fronds off of it, leave the center spear, so it'll be a lot easier to protect. You could wrap heat cables around it, use thermocube, and box it in with some insulation. So yeah, try Camarops. Camarops in the ground would be easier. Could you plant one in a pot that you put and keep it small? Yeah, you could. You could, I guess. Yeah. Palms USA for sure. When are Bob's new fronds? No, I only cut off the old ones, Max, when they turn brown. I never, ever remove green fronds from palms or tree ferns, but we'll make an exception today. So a guy that works at the Tourist Information Bureau contacted me the other day. Talked to me the other day when I was in town. He says, Joe, the palm that I got growing in front of the Tourist Information building in town has some fronds on it that look like they need to be removed. So I met him today with Wendy. Wendy shot a video. You'll see it on Gulf Island Rock. And a couple of the fronds were green, but I did remove them just because they were drooping down. And now it actually looks better.
It looks better.
It looked like it was kind of out of shape, and they were over the Newport dwarf Escallonia. So I cut them off and I gave them a good shape. The palm looks really nice, got a thick trunk on it. But generally, rule of thumb, you should never remove the green fronds. And with a tree fern, I don't remove green fronds. So by midsummer, when they start to turn brown, I will cut them off. Hello, white with dreamy eyes. Good to see you in there. But Bob is looking pretty nice right now. The customers that just came.
Bob Taz.
Bob Taz.
Yeah.
Hey, we could call him Bob Taz.
Yeah.
Tasmanian tree fern,
Yeah,
Bob
Bob
Taz.
Taz.
So, good day, Dave. And I hope you're having a good day up there as well. Oh, you have one. Okay, a new location, driveway. Cool. Oh, so you have a Camarops. Okay. I'm guessing, are they pretty hardy there then? And a new sucker. I love Camarops palms, and I think we have about a dozen of them in the garden here, at least. And then I have more in pots down in the nursery. Definitely eyes. Hey, Dave. Yeah, Dave's in there. Dave is in the house. Dave has entered the building. 2 matching. Why are there like 9 comments? 2 watching. 9. Yeah, there's 2 watchers and there's a whole bunch of comments. So there's 2 people watch. It doesn't make sense. YouTube, I don't know. Maybe it's just a glitch or something like that. Right? So anyway, it's good. I like to do a live stream on this one once in a while too. And it's good to see you guys in there. Tonight we are going out. We're going for a barbecue. What are we having for barbecue tonight?
They got a fancy pizza oven from Italy, and we're having homemade pizza.
We're going for a barbecue tonight on the we're going for a dinner tonight on the very south end of the island. Yes, we're going to social distance. And our friends have a very fancy pizza oven they got from Italy. So we got a long drive ahead of us. We got to drive to the very south end of Salt Spring Island to go for some pizza.
We have to pick up Christy.
They are marginal here. They're a massive one. Many trunks in Virginia, about 15 minutes from. Oh, that's interesting, eh? Isn't that interesting? It's kind of like 15 minutes is not that far. And it works the same way on Salt Spring Island. There's some areas of Salt Spring that get so cold in the winter, Camarops will freeze down. And here they're perfectly fine. And there's some areas where they grow freaking massive, right? You know, right on the beach, there's some big ones. I mean, the biggest one I know of has got to be more than 10 feet wide and is 8 feet high. And there's 2 of them in that garden. And you've seen my videos on it before. Glitches on YouTube. YouTube can be a glitch, right? And Facebook as well. And probably Instagram. That's not long. That's not long at all. 8 feet. Ha ha, Dave. That's good. Those are good Tostitos. Do you guys like Tostitos? Anyway, guys, I'm having a very relaxing long weekend. This is a long weekend here in Canada. And Victoria Day. So Monday's the holiday. Like my shirt? There's my shirt. Hula girl on it right there. The guy with the big Camarops in Arlington only protects it. C9. Okay, cool. Right on. So that's good. Yeah. So the ones here, Palms USA, never ever get winter protection, and they do produce seed on them too. For watching Joe getting. Yeah, this isn't really a popular channel. I mean, there's not really a lot of subscribers, but you know what? I do it just for fun anyway. And like I say, this channel is a newer channel. I started this one in April 2012, so it's not that old. It's only just over 9 years old. And Wendy's channel is a lot newer. I think her subscribers are going up faster than this one. This one just kind of stays in suspended animation. The ones on Salt. Yeah, the ones on Salt Spring are pretty good. There's some really nice ones in private gardens. And I haven't videotaped them all, but there are some nice ones here. I don't know. I think this channel, I don't know how many, this channel has 9,800 subscribers. So I don't know if that,
mine.
I don't know. It's just, I mean, yeah, but it's an old channel, so I don't consider that a lot.
What I have.
Yeah. This is one of my least favorite Canadian. Really? I like it because I get 4 days off, Dave.
Oh, he doesn't like this holiday?
Hey, babe.
How come?
See, I'm handing this to Wendy.
Why doesn't he like this holiday?
I'm handing this to Wendy because it's hard to eat dry Tostitos.
Here.
I'm amazed Joe is way more. No, you're popular too, and because I like your videos, they're very random. This channel here is more of a random video channel. Okay, so Banana JSSI is more pertaining to plants and exotic gardening. This one here, yeah, I do throw a lot of plants and exotic gardening videos on it, but a lot of other random crap as well. I have only 120, but you know what? That's good. September 2020. That's awesome, Palms USA. So you're actually going up pretty fast. And you know what? It's the fun of doing it anyway.
How many does he have?
He only started in September 2020, Palms USA, 120 subscribers.
Oh, that's good.
So you know what? That's good. That's really good.
I remember when I started.
Wendy started in 2016, I think.
And you kept bugging me. And it was
No, you started in
all of a sudden I had 10 subscribers.
When did you start? 2015 or 2016? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I like it, Dave, because I get a holiday. That's what I love it. Yeah, you know what? You got a good channel, Palms USA, and it looks like they're climbing fast. So in September, 120, that's awesome. Good for you. Thanks. Wendy has an amazing channel. Well, thanks a lot. And you as well. Thanks. And Wendy has fun doing it. And I used to push her. So I'll tell you what happened. Wendy was really lame at putting on Wendy was really lame at putting on videos.
Not like you.
So I pushed her. And her subscriber went way up. It went from like 600, and then in a month it went to over 1,000, right? And I really pushed her to upload videos, so now she does it on a regular basis.
I was paid, and they changed it.
You average a subscriber a day. You know what? So that's 30 a month. There's nothing wrong with that. Wendy's more popular than Joe because she's sexier. That's right. She is. That's right. Who wants to watch this ugly white with dreamy eyes? And that is true. So she's got to make, you're right, Dave. And you know what? And you know, when you're a pretty woman, you could probably get a lot more subscribers because they click on the thumbnail or your avatar says, I want to see what this person's all about.
Yeah, but you're like this.
So Wendy, I like Wendy's videos too. And the thing is, Wendy's videos are edited, and all my stuff is raw and unedited. So if you hear some buffoon talking in the background, I'm not gonna block it out. You're gonna hear the buffoon talking in the background. Or if I say something stupid, it will be on there. Anyway, YouTube is just free entertainment. It doesn't cost you anything to watch me babble away here. You guys can join in. We can all have fun chatting together. So it's fun, right? So that's what I do it for. It's just YouTube is just another hobby of mine. And I have a lot of hobbies. And YouTube, I've been doing since 2008. Not a really long time, only 13 years, but it's great. And I've been shooting videos every day. Every day I shoot a video. I've never missed a day, which is crazy, right? So that's why I have a lot of videos.
Your technique's different.
My technique's totally different than Wendy's. Joe, and that's why I have a lot of videos on the other channel.
I go bursts. I'll put on 3 videos in one day.
Wendy's like a binge drinker. So she's a binge video shooter. Okay.
3 videos.
She'll do 3 videos in a day.
And then skip a few days.
Skip a few days. I put on videos every day.
Every day.
Do you know what a binge drinker is? Go like a whole week or 2 without drinking. Wendy's like that. She'll go a few days without shooting a video, and bang, 3 videos. She put them on, then she'll go 3 or 4 days without a video. Me, I'm a routine guy. Everything I do is routine, isn't it, Wendy?
Yeah.
And it drives her crazy. Like I am so routine.
Drive me crazy.
It kind of drives her crazy.
Sometimes.
So I'm so routine, right? So like I have to, like one day I forgot my camera. I forgot to take my camera to work one day. I said it was basically like going, she goes, boy, that's like going to work naked, isn't it? I said, I went to work without my camera. I could not believe it. I don't know what I was doing. That was like a couple of weeks ago. It was like
you're missing your
I went down to reach into my pocket to shoot a video. It's like, oh my God, I left my camera at home. I was ready to call her.
Wow.
Or use a lifeline and tell them to bring my camera to me, right? So anyway, I only post about 5 videos per year, but you know what? They're pretty great killer videos when you put them on there.
Oh, that's cool.
Dave, White with Dreamy Eyes. Yeah, when does a sable miner give flower? Because mine are just starting to get splits on them. Oh, cool. I've had one flower, but now it's in too much shade and it'll never flower. That's a good question. Sable miner experts, when does a sable miner flower? How many years does it take? Palms USA tries to make 1 video a day. That's good.
That's good.
My favorite holidays are the less popular ones. I'm just weird that way. I like any day that's a day off. So, and don't get me wrong, I love my job, but I'm really going to like it a lot more when I'm retired. Then maybe I'll do a lot more live streaming. So I got a few more years of work anyway. I wish I could retire right now, but I can't. I got too many bills to pay. Wendy's a high maintenance, expensive lady.
No, I'm not. I'm not expensive.
Wendy is costing me a lot of money.
No, see my wedding ring?
What about it?
Joe and I each had a ring made here. It's silver. I don't know if they can see that.
You can see it.
It has 3 tiny tiny
What is it?
little blue diamonds. And then the other one says aloha, and it's silver. That's my wedding band. So my ring is silver.
What is the tax rate in BC? It's high.
7 and 5.
So it's
7 and 5.
12% or 13?
It's 13.
Hey, Dave, what's the
Actually, 7
tax
and
rate in
6.
BC? Is it
13.
13% here?
But
It's,
then you have hotel tax too. So 15%.
I want to retire too.
13%.
So do I. I do too, Dave. Yeah, it's expensive here. The tax rate is high. It's expensive to live. Not all over BC, but it's definitely expensive to live on the coast. And these islands are really expensive.
Right now, houses
high.
here, we have very few houses on the market right now.
It's nothing for rent.
So housing on Salt Spring right now is really expensive because it's a seller's market right now. Crazy prices here.
California's 13 and the next highest rate. Yeah, so we're 13 as well. We're like California. It is a ripoff.
You have to pay tax on YouTube now too. Insurance.
I gotta pay, yeah. But
credit.
life here is expensive. It is, and it's definitely not cheap
Who
on
said
Salt
that?
Spring. Like gas here went down
Gas.
to about 154 a liter. So you can figure out how many liters are in a gallon. So times that by 4, right? Right, Dave? How many liters are in a gallon? It's so for the cheapest gas here, it's about $1.54 a liter. And a liter, I think, is around a quart, right? Or a little bit less than a quart. It's really expensive for gas here. So gas is
We
expensive.
don't go very far.
No,
though.
but food is expensive too. Food is really expensive on Salt Spring.
If we go to the Big Island, food, you go to the grocery store, it's incredible the price difference.
It's cheaper on the Big Island, and the Big Island is Vancouver Island.
Yeah. Support
Yeah,
your
check out
local
those-
farmers.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we buy stuff from the farmers here. Just like California, I love it. Want to live? Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, that's the drawback. California is beautiful, but it's really expensive. So, I mean, if you move down to say like Arkansas or one of those other states, maybe Kentucky or Tennessee, it's probably going to be a lot cheaper cost of living, and houses are going to be a lot cheaper, right? But isn't it a seller's market? It's a seller's market, not a buyer's market. It is always a seller's market. Houses here are going $200,000 to $300,000 over the asking price. So it's a favorable location. People want to move to the Southern Gulf Islands, but you got to have a lot of money and or retired or own your own business. That's the thing, right? So I've been here a long time, so I'm just kind of used to it, and I don't know where else I would live. If I moved anywhere else, it'd probably be on Vancouver Island. I'd move over to the Big Island somewhere. I would love to go to college. You got great. Oh yeah, go to UCLA. Sweet. I love California. California is awesome. Is the mark of evil. Seller's market. Yeah, well, I know somebody trying to sell his house right now, and he's waiting, and it's probably not going to be long before he sells it. They're actually moving to the prairies. Really cheap out in the prairies. See, Palms USA, you could move to Bismarck, North Dakota, or you could move to South Dakota or Minnesota or Iowa, and it would be really cheap there. You could get something really cheap. But if you like to grow palm trees, guess what? They ain't going to grow. You're going to have to put them in pots and bring them in for the winter, or you could be the first in North Dakota to grow a palm tree in your garden, right? You could make history in North Dakota. And like I said before, I've told you guys, Wendy used to live in North Dakota, and she remembers how cold it was and how high the snowbanks were. I've been to UCL campus, most beautiful I've ever seen. 20. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, beautiful. I've seen pictures of that place. It's amazing. Yeah, I've never been there though. But my eyes shed tears for buyers, normal people like me. Yeah, I couldn't afford to buy another place here. So, Dave, if we ever sold our place here on Salt Spring, I would actually have to move off of Salt Spring Island. I mean, unless we moved into the old folks' village at Brinkworthy, where it's a little cheaper. I'm not planning on moving anytime soon, though. No, yeah, that's like me too. That is my requirement. And I've always lived on the coast here, right? So, like I say, born and raised here on the coast, lived here my whole life. So I really, I just like to be by the ocean. I need to be by the Pacific Ocean. I do like lakes too. And I know Dave, hey, Dave likes Lytton, and Lytton is a beautiful place too. I think Wendy, I feel that somebody's shooting a video of me right now talking to you guys. Look for it on Gulf Island Rock.
Under your banana umbrella is brand new umbrella.
There's a camera, a Canon camera, focused in on me right now, and Wendy's actually shooting a YouTube video of me live streaming to you guys. And I'm going to mention your name so you can be on her video. White with Dreamy Eyes.
Yay.
Palms USA.
Yay.
And who else was in there? There was somebody else in there. Camel was in there. And Max Lax was in there. And who else am I missing? There's not a whole lot of people on this live stream right now. But I think myself as a conservative, but these sellers are rotten people. Yeah. And they got a lot of money. And unfortunately, I don't have a lot of money. You know what I mean? And I'm eating nacho chips.
Yes.
Oh, there you are, Cafe de Casual. You're in there too. I haven't seen Cafe de Casual for a long time. Good to see you in there. Who else am I missing in here? There was somebody else that I forgot to say your name.
Oh.
So Wendy is actually shooting a video of you guys commenting here.
Palms USA. Yeah,
Palms USA. Stanford is gorgeous too, just south of. Oh, I love the coastal area, man. You know, Palms USA, you can grow everything in coastal California, okay? I got a friend that lives in Eureka, longtime friend, palm grower. The date palms there are absolutely massive. What?
Oh, sorry. I'm just reading your comments.
Oh, Wendy's reading the comments, and she's shooting a video of you guys. So I'm streaming to you, and Wendy's going to be putting this on Gulf Island Rocks. You forgot about Dan L. Dan L in there too. Right on. Sorry to give you goods, but we BC people are nice folks. Real estate destroy. Yeah. Well, try going to Vancouver, right, Dave? Dave knows how expensive Vancouver is. Vancouver is extremely expensive. And that's why Dave and I don't live in Vancouver. See, Salt Spring, the Southern Gulf Islands are expensive, but Vancouver is way more expensive. And then Victoria is expensive too, right? Tofino, I'd like to live in Tofino, but that's also very expensive. I should have bought there years ago. Oh yeah, the other Gulf Islands are lots of people. So the other Gulf Islands consist of Saturna Island. Saturna Island is the most southeast of the Southern Gulf Islands. There's about 350 people there. Pender Islands is north and south Pender. A little bridge connects them. I think there's about 4,000 people on those islands. And then Main Island, I think there's about 1,900 or 1,000 people. Galliano, I think there's probably about 1,500 people. Salt Spring Island, there's 10,500 to 11,000 people on this island. Prevost Island, not many. I think there's maybe just a handful of people. And then there's lots of minor islands around. So yeah, they're all inhabited for sure. So lots of places. They got little stores and little shops and stuff like that. My birthplace, man, only for, yeah, there's lots of rich people there. Vancouver is actually beautiful. There's no doubt about it. Vancouver is a very beautiful city and it's pretty much surrounded by water. So it's really a mild climate. Gotta get another beer. I can't really have a beer right now because I got to go drive to the south end. Actually, no, I don't have to drive to the south end. Wendy has to drive to the south end. So you know what? I could actually drink a beer. So I'm going to go grab them. I'm going to grab them. All right. Okay, guys. Reindeer beer. Hey, guys, I'm back. You know what? Wendy's the driver today. She's going to do the drive to the south end. So good. Cheers to you guys. There's a reindeer beer from Washington State. And I'm sure Dave's had a reindeer beer. And it's a nice day for it, too, because it is just absolutely gorgeous out here. And I'm sitting under this umbrella, the big yellow umbrella, which you will see on Wendy's video when she uploads it. And I thank you guys for joining in the live stream. It's always a lot of fun. You guys make it fun. And that's what it's all about, right? Life is short. You got to have fun. I don't know how many of you guys like Tostitos, but I sure like Tostitos with this dip. It's kind of a spicy dip. So Palms USA, the last time I was in California was August 2008. We took our 3 kids to Southern California, Disneyland, and we stayed there for 5 or 6 days. And right by Disneyland. We walked to Disneyland. That's how close we were. We walked to Disneyland, or you could take a shuttle. And it was awesome. And I've been to Disneyland before. I went in December 81 when I was 17. Me and my buddy drove down. Can I see the... yeah, these ones we're eating right here. Right there. Tostitos rounds. And they are good. And Wendy's got this kind of half spicy salsa, which is really, really nice. So that's my snack with a cold American beer. You got to remember, we're so close to the United States. There's a lot of American beer drinkers here too. It is a beautiful area, for sure. It's quite nice. I got my Caribou beer. Palms USA Vancouver is great, but that's yeah. Well, there's a lot of wealth in Vancouver, right? It'd be like going to Los Angeles or anywhere in Southern California. There's a lot of wealth and a lot of probably high taxes, big homes, and multi millionaires. And unfortunately, it squeezes a lot of the when the property taxes go way up, it kind of squeezes out some of the people that bought there many moons ago when they bought their place for next to nothing, and they kind of get taxed out of their property they got to sell, which is kind of sad, you know. And one day that might happen to us here. I mean, property taxes are quite expensive here. If you're on the water, it's even more. We're across the street from the water, and we don't see the water, and that's probably a good thing. Same within Hawaii, Palms USA. Lytton beer, just kidding. Prince George beer, Caribou. Caribou's good. Um, yeah, homelessness in California is insane. You know, we have homelessness here too, but in Hawaii, it's really bad. When you go to, especially Waikiki and Honolulu, I see a lot of homelessness, and yeah, it is quite sad, really. Cafe de Casual. I think ours a year $2,500 for this place here, something like that for this area. But a lot more. If we're on the water, they'd be about 10,000 or more. Mm-hmm. Root beer is good too. Hey, Mom's USA. What's your favorite root beer? I like A&W root beer. So when we go to the Big Island, we always go to A&W, and I love a good A&W root beer. But you know what I like even better is an A&W root beer milkshake. A&W root beer milkshakes are the best. So you got the flavor of the root beer in the milkshake, and it is so good. So if you ever go to an A&W, ask for one. Well, we don't have, you don't have that in the UK, eh? Interesting. You see, that's the problem. Place the greedy people. Yeah, they do. Yeah, that's true, Dave. Root Virgil's root beer is Virgil's. Oh, is that the old fashioned root beer? Palms USA. Oh, and Palm Nation is in there. Lives on a sandwich made out of moldy bread. Brennan 2021. Moldy bread. Haha. Do not eat moldy bread, and don't even give it to the rats because they won't eat it either. We live on a rock, and that's why people here call it the rock. Old fashioned. I think I know the one, Palms USA. That is actually a really good root beer, and I've had it before. Yeah, I love the taste of, and I think it's actually probably made with natural ingredients. That's a good one. And actually, if I have to drink pop, I'm not a pop drinker, but if I have to drink pop, it's root beer. I like root beer, and I like a root beer float too. Put a scoop of vanilla ice cream on your root beer. And like I say, if you have A&W there, which I think you have A&W there, because it originated in Southern California back in 1918. So if you still have A&W there, try a root beer milkshake, or at least ask them. Are you still filming?
No, I did a film on all our ferns.
Wendy just did a film on all our ferns. What's the temperature here? It is, last time I looked, it was around 20 degrees. 20 degrees, so 70 degrees out. Just typical, normal. Old fashioned beer. It's going to be Dad's root beer is good too. I like Dad's root beer. That's a good one for sure. Yeah. Rain for a month here. God, we need leads. Yeah, we need rain badly. I was looking at our cordy lines. They're starting to brown, some of them, the ends of the leaves. I just shot a video. That's how dry it is here. Forest fire rating is getting up to extreme now. It's already high. Live in Antarctica. That's funny. Look at our latitude, dude. We're not anywhere close to Antarctica. There's Jane. If it was Antarctica, you would not see palm trees behind you. And you would not grow a garden like this in Antarctica. I'm a dad, so perfect for me. Yeah. Aloha, Jane. In the balmy and palmy Hawaiian Islands. I keep mistaking ostrich. Oh, we have ostrich ferns in our garden. They're quite nice. We have a bunch of them in here. Ostrich ferns.
Yeah, I was just looking at them.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
God. One of our smaller ones,
I'm
the
a
trunk on it now is this high.
Wendy said the trunk on one of our ostrich ferns is this big.
So the fern is like this.
The fern's quite tall, but it's actually
But
got a trunk on it
is
like a
getting-
tree fern. Yeah.
We have about 4 of them.
They do look like little tree ferns. It
They
is
do.
86 now
I was just
in
saying
Hawaii. See, that's the perfect place to live. Hawaiian Islands, I love. The word balmy makes me think of cold weather. Well, you know what? The weather here is just perfect for me. It's just absolutely. I'll show you how I'm dressed. If it was cold, I wouldn't be dressed like this. I'm actually sitting in the shade of an umbrella. There we go. I wear shorts every day. It's really, really nice in the shade of this umbrella. So, and it's comfortable. It's low humidity. It's just absolutely perfect. You're not sweating out here, and there are 0 bugs. There are no bugs here to bother you. 95 this afternoon. Yeah, it is this afternoon here right now. It is what time is it? 3:35. 87 in Washington. 86 in Kapahulu on the island of Oahu. Yeah, it is actually pretty cool, Max Lax, that they do grow trunks. I love ostrich ferns. I mean, they are deciduous and they lose their leaves, right, in the wintertime. Unlike the tree ferns here are evergreen, which is really nice. Oh, I was going to say the pawpaw tree, our pawpaw tree has 3 buds on it right now. They're going to open up into flowers. Yeah, Dave, I think, is the farthest north here of anybody.
Mama and Papa of a papa tree.
What's that?
Proud Mama and Papa of a papa
Yes.
tree. 3 flowers.
You're looking forward to the hundreds in a week or two? I don't think so, man. I don't know how you guys like that. That's too hot for me. Hundreds? I would move away, dude. I couldn't handle that. That would be too hot. I sure in hell wouldn't want to work in it. You'd have to be in an air-conditioned office. I don't know anybody that likes to work in 100-degree weather. It's kind of like Arizona. Extreme cold is too bad and extreme heat is too bad, in my opinion. But that's my opinion. You can't function in either. You really can't function in either. What's that?
It's Gwen Carroll.
Cool. We didn't grow it. It's green though. Yeah, I don't like the humidity. The humidity would suck. Up in the mountains, 1,000 foot, it would be 80s, high 70s. That's where I like. Like, I think if I lived in Hawaii, I would live up country. I would like it up at about 3,000 foot elevation on the sides of Haleakala. The temperature there is just perfect. You know, in the 70s in the day, in the 50s at night. I mean, that is just actually a perfect climate, and you can grow everything there. You know, it's just a perfect place to garden if you like to grow exotic plants. And I've driven up there before, and it's pretty amazing, the gardens. Can you grow coconut up there?
In Nakawa or
Well,
in Haiku.
You know what? Jane can grow coconut. You can't handle tropical conditions, but like tropical. Well, Hawaii's not like where you are. Trust me. It's not, it's perfect. The climate in Hawaii is completely different than where you are. It's not so sweaty, humid. It's, it never where you live gets hotter than Hawaii. It's perfect climate. I would say Hawaii is one of the best climates I've been in, especially when you get up island. I never feel uncomfortable in Hawaii. There's been a few days where it's been like kind of sweating, but I just absolutely love it there because you always get those beautiful trade winds off the Pacific Ocean. Yeah, I like Kula, Jane. Kula is where the lavender farm is, and Wendy loves Kula. So we went up to the lavender farm there, and they grew a lot of plants that we're growing here on Salt Spring Island. Some of the nicest hydrangeas I've ever seen were at Kula Lavender Farm on Maui, upcountry. Massive flowers on them.
And like haiku.
They were growing olives. They were growing a bunch of stuff we were growing.
Mackerel.
Yeah, no, I don't know. You're the only. I don't know if anybody. I don't know anybody else really that likes high heat and humidity to work in. I mean, I know people from back east that have moved here, and they said it's just absolutely awful. But that's what they've told me. I mean, I don't like sweating. When we get a couple of humid days in the summertime and it's in the 80s, I absolutely can't stand it when your clothes are stuck to you, and you're dripping with sweat. I can't see that being fun. I really don't. I'd rather have a dry heat like Arizona. So 80 in Arizona and a dry heat would be a lot easier to handle. Once you got the humidity, that's not good. Yeah, I like heat. I don't mind the heat, but the humidity's killer. Humidity is definitely a killer. It's just like a wet cold over a dry cold. Let's see. Where's the most humid place I've been? I think Jamaica. And when I was in the jungles of Jamaica, it was really, really humid. And I love Jamaica. Like I like the vegetation, but I didn't like the humidity there.
Costa Rica.
Why? Who isn't hot? I'll tell you where it was humid one day. Well, because it just had rained. Is up in Manoa Hills, up in the rainforest of Hawaii. No, Death Valley would be too hot for me too. It's way too hot. I wouldn't. No, 120 degrees. You know what?
Snowbirds.
75 degrees is good enough for me. I don't need it any hotter than that. I really don't.
Canadians head down there in the winter.
I like to feel comfortable. When I'm sitting outside or working, I like to feel comfortable. I don't like to feel exhausted or dripping with sweat. I want to be dry. Why me on the Big Island isn't hot? No, and I know Alex. There's a guy up on the Palm Forum, one of my Palm Forum. He lives up country on Hawaii, the Big Island, and he grows a lot of conifers up there. And he's got this perfect climate, like usually 70s in the day and in the 50s at night. Right? It's quite a nice climate. I can handle 40°C fine. Yeah, if it's a dry heat, for sure. The East Indian girls work with love high temperatures, but they're wearing sweaters. I know. Well, even in Hawaii, when it gets down into the 60s, I swear those guys are actually wearing sweatshirts. When we were there the last time, or maybe it was the time before,
we're in shorts.
I'm wearing shorts and flip flops, and it was like 60. I think it was 67 degrees it got down to, or 68 degrees, and the locals were all bundled up. Yeah, well, I won't barbecue because I actually tan pretty good, probably because my relatives come from southern Italy, right? So it gets really hot down there too. So it's in my blood, but I don't like the humidity. I like the dryness. Yeah, I really don't. I don't know if I sunburn. Do I sunburn?
No, bit, but not really.
Not really. I'm not really a sunburner. I just tan.
Yeah.
Egyptian gang. Imagine getting sunburned. No. I didn't say I love extreme heat. I like Southern California heat is nice. And what I do like about San Diego, the climate there is perfect too, because you have the ocean. Anywhere near the ocean, you're going to get the breeze, right, on the West Coast. And I've been to San Diego, and it's just absolutely perfect too. Malibu Beach, Santa Monica, Venice Beach, really nice climate down there. Who likes Coca-Cola today? Southern California heat is fine. I know. That's the problem. They get a lot of forest fires. And you know what? This time of the year really worries me up here too, because we can get forest fires as well. And you know, the worst thing is when there's forest fires burning up, well, over in Washington State beside us, or in British Columbia, sometimes the smoke infiltrates the southern Gulf Islands. And for several days, we can get some of that smoke hanging over us. I don't like it. Bad for the lungs. Daniel. That's what we are. We are sub-Mediterranean here. We're a Mediterranean-like climate on Salt Spring Island. So wet winters and dry spring and summers. I'll take the sub-Mediterranean climate here on the East Van Island. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? East Vancouver Island is Mediterranean-like. I don't sunburn because I'm half Slav. Tan. Cool. There you go. That's like me too. Tan, not burn. Anywhere near the ocean in Leeward, Hawaii. Hot high 80s. Yeah. So we were on the leeward side. We stay on the leeward side on Maui, but it's dry there. Like it's 9 to 10 inches of rain annually, Jane. And I never really feel uncomfortable there at all. There's been a few really hot days where it's been up into the 90s, low 90s. And yeah, it gets hot. You want to stay out of the sun, but man, it's nice. Full subtropical until the cold hits down there, Palm Nation. You know what I mean? Yeah, at this time of the year, yeah, you are. And yeah, it is a subtropical type climate, but it is still prone to deep freezes too. right? And just like us here on the coast, we can get them too. You know what? We're definitely not tropical. What's the most cold hardy sapote? Good question. I don't know. Kihei is hot. I mean, we stay there every year, and it is pretty toasty. But we hang out on the beach every day, and it is a pretty toasty place. But I don't find it overly humid. The leeward side, the windward side, Jane, of Hawaii gets a lot more humid and rain if you go on down to Hana. I'm happy. Yeah, no, I can't wait to go back to Hawaii one day. Hopefully, sooner than later, I will be back on Maui. So we'll have to see how things go in the next year. I don't even think we're going to be going there next year. I don't know what's going to happen with all the stuff going around in the world, but hopefully it's done soon. We updated your antivirus. Got it. Buddy, we're 70 here in winter, literally cold blast season. What is going on here? Come on. Updates. Buddy, it's 70-year cold blast season. Nothing like where you live. Dude, I see the weather there too. And I know the weather well in Tennessee because I talk down there a lot on my ham radio. So definitely it does get cold down there too. And I do because I do follow the weather very well all over the place. So it can get very cold there. But it also is warm through the winter time. But you can also get pretty good cold blasts too, like very good cold blast down into the teens. And yes, it has been down into the single digits. Doesn't happen all the time, but it can happen. So you're not immune to it, that's for sure. Because if you were, there would be Washingtonia palms everywhere, and it's no different than up here too. Doesn't matter. I know what it's like down there too. Just like when you guys see the weather up here, right? So I know it can get cold down in Tennessee. It can get cold in northern Mississippi. It's froze. I have the weather records for the places, so they don't lie. It can get very cold. It happens, man. It comes straight down from the Canadian prairies, unfortunately, and there's no mountains to stop it. Look at Texas. Look, you guys were lucky. It missed you guys this year. It hit Arkansas. It froze up my buddy's palms, unfortunately, and it wiped out a lot of palms in Dallas. Thank God a lot of them recovered, but it can do the same thing down where you are too, straight through Kentucky, go through Tennessee, and right down. It does happen. Nobody wants to believe their own climate is that cold in the winter, but it happens here too because I record weather daily and I've seen it get very cold here. Thank God it never doesn't last that long, but we get cold blasts too. It comes down from Alaska, and I've seen it freeze up here for about 5, 6 days. I think the longest freeze I've seen here was 2008, and that was a bad one. And for at least a week, it was probably 5 to 6 days, it was frozen. It was down to 18.1 degrees Fahrenheit, and daytime temperatures just below freezing, 32 degrees, just above 32 degrees. And that's where it weeds out the wimpy plants. So if you have a Washingtonia, it's done. If you have a CIDP, it's done. So any of the wimpy plants we had here were done that winter. And it did actually take out a big eucalyptus tree at the end of our far driveway. It was a Nitens, and it was from Port Providence, and it had a trunk on it about this big. And I'm glad it killed it because it was right under the wires, and I used to have to cut it every year, and it wiped that out. So Palm Nation, you're funny. I didn't say I'm an expert on it, but I do listen to the weather report, and I do get the weather report, and I actually have it on my iPhone too. So I know what the temperatures are like there, and I know you have been below freezing this past winter, so you can't say you haven't been below freezing. You know what I mean? We've been below freezing here too. You know what I mean? And you got to think of how far north we are. Really, we should be covered in snow all winter. That's the way I see it. The way I see it is your street should be lined in Washingtonia robustas being that far south. We should have nothing here growing like this. There should be zero palm trees anywhere in Canada. And that's the way I see it. That's my opinion. And I'm not an expert on that at all. I'm just saying, just that's the way it is. Yeah. I didn't say you weren't either. You were, sorry, I said you were below freezing. And I know you were below freezing. Some places near you were probably down to about 15 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's pretty chilly for that far south. So yes, you guys are a subtropical climate. I know that because you look at, yeah, you typical climate, but you still can get cold. You know what I mean? Just like Dallas, Texas can get cold, and a lot of places in the South, unfortunately, because there's nothing to stop many types of Dracaena. So hopefully, Dracaena. There's Cordyline indivisia. That's the one with the wider leaves on it, and they're definitely less hardy, but people do grow them on the coast here. I know Rudy, past president of the Palm Society. Okay, what happened here? Stream just ended. Ugh, stupid live stream. Did you go on the internet? No. Okay. Live. The thing just cut out for some weird reason. So, Cordyline australis or indivisia has wider leaves. It is more marginal. Cordyline australis freezes down at around 18 degrees Fahrenheit. And matter of fact, somebody posted the other day, and they tagged me in a Facebook group, and they said I was bang on about the cordyline hardiness. Cordyline australis will freeze down at around 18 degrees Fahrenheit. I see it all the time. So his froze down is Brian Moyle. And I think Brian is maybe on the East Coast somewhere, and his cordylines froze down at 18 degrees Fahrenheit, but they've all resprouted back again. And the nice thing about cordylines, they do have a taproot on them, and they can act as a perennial, which is really awesome. So don't try to move a cordyline when they're established. Dinter labels with no indication. So I'm guessing Dracaena, it's probably a cordyline australis, Daniel. Washingtonia everywhere. There are many places in the world that mild enough. Absolutely. They grow in Greece too. And you want to know something? There is a road lined in Greece with Washingtonia robusta and flifera. And in that area, they had a big freeze. And these were pretty good sized palms. Every single Washingtonia robusta died, but the flifera lives. So flifera is a much hardier palm. Yeah. So anyway, I would ask him if it's australis, Daniel. Go for the australis. But if you can find a indivisia, I would grab it too because they're hardier to find. And there's lots of Washingtonias growing in South Carolina because it's mild enough, and there's some beautiful ones in North Carolina too because I've seen them. Any Washingtonia this far north is short term. It's like CIDP. It's short term. I don't know about the ones in Tofino. They seem to be still growing strong. But I still think it's going to be short term. No, I would definitely try a Washingtonia flifera Palm Nation, but I would cover it up. I would just put a roof over top of it. I don't even know if I would wrap it. I think I would just put a roof over top of it and see how it does in the wet season. Well, I don't know. Your wet season is probably opposite ours, but if you can get a Washingtonia, filibuster. I think I would try a filibuster where you are. Last question. You selling sable miners? Yes, I have sable miners. They're in 4-inch pots. Anyone getting mad? Remember, I like a good debate too. Good debates are good. Yeah. Hey, by the way, so apparently the graffiti artist that I was getting very upset with, my friend ran him off the island, which is really good. My wet season. So you know what? All you got to do is cover it up. So what I would do in Tennessee, get a Washingtonia flifera, and I would just put a simple structure around it. I mean, you could put 2x2s in the ground and just put you know what? You could put an umbrella over top of it. You could get a patio umbrella and put a patio umbrella over top of it. And I bet you it would do fine. And if you think it's going to get cold out, just wrap the thing up with some burlap, the palm. And I bet you would probably go through your winters. I would put one to the test for sure, if you can get one at your nurseries. I think a Washingtonia flifera would have a chance where you are in your climate. It's definitely worth the risk. My wet season is summer. Yeah, see, our wet season is winter. Late fall and through winter. Winter gets some rain, but I don't see a lot in spring. I wish our winters were dry. Cheers, show peace. Take over the palm. Yeah, you know what? I think they're going to get rid of her, Daniel. I talked to a couple of people there that are very upset with her. I've been sending them my videos. They wanted to see the videos. So I think she's going to get the boot. And they're looking for somebody else to garden in there. And unfortunately, the last gardener they had was very good. So hopefully they will bring her back. And I said they should hire Wendy because Wendy is actually a gardener too. I know people who grew dactylifera. They did in winter is throw a tarp. So yeah, and dactylifera is definitely a dry climate palm. So you know what you could try is also a Phoenix. Well, Phoenix canariensis can take the rain. I know they can because they grow on the Oregon coast and they get about 80 inches of rain a year on the Oregon coast, and they grow massive CIDPs. You could also grow try Phoenix sylvestris, Phoenix sylvestris too. Bigfoot Squad is probably watching here right now. Bigfoot Squad, if you're there, come in and say hi. I think the moderators might have scared him away, man. I think he's done. Bigfoot Squad, I think, got scared off.
Oh.
I don't really like really. I like dactylifera in Southern California. They're beautiful. Where we stayed in Anaheim, the boulevards were lined, like right in front of the hotel was lined with Phoenix dactylifera, and they're beautiful. Bigfoot is probably in bathroom looking. He's probably watching right now. We only have, there's not really a lot of people in here. There's only like 5. Maybe there's 5. It says 5. So he could be one of those watchers. Oh yeah, I'm sure he'll be back. Or maybe he is making another alias right now and shooting a video from a secluded tropical island in the South Pacific, right? If it's too wet and humid, I think useless outside, decorative. Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. My buddy up here grew a Phoenix dactylifera in his garden, and it got a pretty good size. I mean, the trunk was about this big, but it finally packed it in. It was a bad winter, and it packed it in. But he did cover it. He did put like a little structure over top of it, and he was up island in Nanaimo. He'll probably be back under a different alias, but I'm not as good as catching other aliases these guys are. The moderators kind of can sniff out trolls, and I'm not as good at sniffing out trolls. So these guys are kind of, they have the troll detectors. We're calling them the troll detectors. So when there's a troll in there, even if he comes in as a different alias, they seem to know. They can kind of pick out, the way the guy types and the way he says things, then they can kind of pick out that it's a troll. Google Earth. Oh, I bet you there's sable miner growing in, even though they like the humidity, I bet you there's sable miner growing in Israel or Egypt. I think there's date palms in Iran, right? There are Phoenix dactylifera growing in Iran and Iraq, right? Or is it just Iraq? What types of palms go in Iran? Are there dactylifera growing in Iran? In Afghanistan, they have the Mazari palm, which was Nanarops richiana. Palms USA, are you there? I think it is worth the risk anywhere. Like if I lived in the deep south like you guys, I would be experimenting with all sorts of palms. So if I lived in southern Tennessee, Camarops humilis, I would definitely try Phoenix canariensis or maybe sylvestris. Maybe go for the sylvestris, different types of sables. Try a Washingtonia. What the hell? You have nothing to lose. Try a Washingtonia. It will grow stinking fast, and they are easy to protect when it gets cold. I ran away from Camarops is pretty popular now. Yeah, so Camarops would be a good one. I think any of the sables would be good to try there. I'm trying to think what else would be a good heart. You know what? Tamar Myers in South Carolina grew Jubea chilensis in her garden in South Carolina, and it was actually getting a pretty good sized trunk on it. So I would say try Jubea chilensis in southern Tennessee. Of course, Trachycarpus is not a problem. Rapidophyllum hystrix is not a problem. What other palms would work down there? Some of the other Trachycarpus species, you could try in a shaded spot. Chamaedoria, some of the Chamaedorias, hardier Chamaedoria palms. I'm just trying to think. My mind's gone blank right now. There's one from Taiwan, Arengia anglerii, and that's a high elevation palm of Taiwan. And it's a pinnate species. Looks pretty tropical. That would be a good one too. Jubeas got destroyed in the winter here. I would definitely try one again, though. I would put it in a sheltered spot. And what you got to do is, so in the summertime, so it's too hot. Okay, so it's too hot for Jubea there. Bummer, because I know South Carolina, she did have one in her garden for sure. Nipa palm is cool. Yeah, Nipa fruticans is pretty cool, but it's too tropical. God, it'd be cool to grow a Bismarckia, wouldn't it? A Bismarckia nobilis. They grow them in Arizona down in Phoenix. Hey, Joe, I think I'll go now. Okay, good to see you. And Wendy, yes, we will see you soon. Okay. Hopefully you and your family will come and visit here soon. There's a bunch of oh yeah, Pindo. My mind went blank. Tennessee should be trying Pindo palms. Where Zach is, you have to try Butia aerospatha. You could try mule palms, Butia cross jubea, and you could you could just do a pure Pindo palm. I think a Pindo palm would work there where you are. Also, another one. Sable Bermudana and Sable Birmingham. Sable Birmingham is very hardy, and I think Sable Birmingham would be totally fine where you are too, because it likes the high heat and it likes the humidity, so it's going to put on sufficient growth. I like Sables too. Yeah, you can try Sagres. Ours is going now for February 2018. I planted it, and like I say, the only thing I do in the winter are I put the little stakes of metal around in a plastic can bag, a clear bag over top of it, and it's still going. So I don't know how long it's going to go for. If it's a bad winter and I only have the bag over it, it's probably going to die. But I've had it going since February 2018 so far, and it looks pretty good. So fingers crossed. If it dies, it dies. It was sent to me as a seedling, like I said, from Southern California, and he said it was a mule palm, but I'm not seeing any butia in it. It's looking like pure queen. And Jane said, I think it was her, she said it might be a silver queen. And I've grown silver queens from seed, and they're a little hardier than a regular green form Siagra. So silver queen, if you're going to grow one in Tennessee, try silver queen, because it is actually hardier. Oh, and Serrano Repens. Serrano Repens Silver Saw Palmetto is also a really nice one to grow, and I think that will work in Tennessee for sure. Forgot it grows Cuban Savannah Sable. Oh yeah, Savannah Sable. Yeah, I don't know if that'll work here though. Why would I grow a slower growing trunking sable when I grow Mexicana palmetto? I'm not wasting time with Birmingham Mexicans.
Yeah.
I would definitely go Birmingham, man. Birmingham's a nice palm too, and kind of not so easy to find. I like them. They're beautiful. Barry McGuire of our Palm Society had one flower in his garden, one of mine, and it's a lot hotter where he lived up in Lanceville. And Barry's got a channel here. He sometimes comes in on the live streams, rarely. His channel's called FRAZZO. And Barry had one of my Sable Birmingham grow to fan leaves and a flower, and then he ended up selling his place. He had quite the palm collection and exotic plant collection in Lanceville on the Big Island. So I thought that was pretty impressive. And hopefully the people that bought his place didn't cut it down, because some people do that when they buy a place. They will destroy the palm trees and plants in the garden. It happens a lot. If it's all silver palm, it would be Bismarckias. I'd like to grow a Bismarckia, but it's never going to work here. But you know what, Lantania is a nice palm too, but they're not that hardy. I'm trying to think of another one from Madagascar. Well, that's where Bismarckia is from too. I prefer palmetto. Yeah, I like Mexicana is nice. Palmetto, Sable Cassiarum's nice too. That would work there as well. And they grow faster because, you know what? Brahia edulis. That's the one. I don't think Brahia armata would like it because it likes it dry, but I think Brahia edulis because it can take more precipitation. Maybe more humidity too, which is precipitation. So I'm going to try to get back to Jeff's place in June or July, and I'm going to shoot a video. Hopefully he'll let me shoot a video in his garden so then you can see his sable palms and his, Trithronyx. That's another one you could try is Trithronyx, Acanthocoma, or Campestris. Those are nice ones too, and very hardy.
We should go this Monday.
We could.
You have Tuesday off.
I could. I should actually go. I should message him. Maybe I'll go there on Monday.
His gardens right now would probably look quite lovely.
Yeah, Brian, what's up, guys? Mac Attack, how's it going in there? And I bet you it's a nice toasty day in Southern Ontario. I should actually message Jeff and see if I can head over to his place on Monday. Yeah. What's up? It's just another beautiful long weekend up here. I had friends who grew Bermudana and Ashwood deer before the cold. Bermudana. Yeah, they're nice plants. I don't have it. I thought I had it, but I don't have it. I think what I have is Cassirum. So Pindos might be the best edible. Yeah, they're great. Jeff, the guy's place I'm going to go to, his produces nice, beautiful fruit, and his wife makes jam or jelly out of it. We're supposed to get a thunderstorm today. Yeah, you guys get a lot of thunderstorms there in Ontario. Yeah, we don't get the thunderstorms here. I like a good thunderstorm. They're fun. I mean, technically, you can eat palmetto berries, not. Is that right, eh? Geez, I can't see people eating those things. I've eaten palmetto, the cabbage palm, the center of it, the heart, but unfortunately, you got to kill the palm tree to get the heart. They sell them at the supermarket here in a can. I've never eaten it fresh, but I've eaten canned palmetto, and that's what they do. They got to cut them down. Yeah, they're very rare on Salt Spring Island, thunderstorms, but when it happens, it's awesome. I love a good thunder and lightning storm.
They had one in Vancouver.
I'm on waiting list for a silver. Oh yeah, well you could probably get them at your nursery down there in Tennessee. I mean, Austin has a nice one in Arkansas, and it actually froze down this past winter. Guess what? It's all returning. It might even look really good right now because they get that heat, right? So it froze to the ground, and it's all coming back again, just like a Camerop. So I got to try a silver saw palmetto again, a Serrano repens. There's the silver form, and then there's the regular green form. It's been a long time since it stormed here. Oh, is that right, eh? Yeah. Yeah, we get some wind once in a while, and that's about it, but it's pretty boring here. The weather is not exciting, trust me. We get most of our thunderstorms in winter for some reason. Yeah, once in a while we'll get one in the wintertime, but I think the last one we had was in the wintertime.
Well, Vancouver had thunder.
I don't think did they have thunder? Yeah.
Said,
Oh, Vancouver had thunder last week. We didn't get any. They had rain?
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have that here. See, it happened in Vancouver.
We got hit with the wind.
We got the wind. We didn't get any rain, and it poured rain and thunder over in Vancouver. So it is different over there than here. I wish we had the rain. Literally all thunderstorms are in the summer. I love thunder and lightning. I think it's absolutely awesome. But it's kind of a drag if it starts a forest fire. Yeah, same here, Camel. Extremely dry. And yeah, like I say, the plants really start to suffer. And that's a real bummer. I like summer, but I don't like the dryness. I wish our summers were wet. I really wish our summers were wetter and our winters were drier. If it was like that, you could grow a lot more plants. We, like Lugano, Switzerland and Locarno, Switzerland, those southern Swiss towns are so full of palm trees. Their summers are hot and humid and their winters are dry. And so they grow mature Phoenix, Washingtonias, Brahias, Camerops, Trachys, Jubaeas, this, that, and the other. And they're just flawless there. Huge oleander, citrus, you name it, they grow it in southern Switzerland. Same latitude as Portland, Oregon, but their climate's totally opposite ours, right? It is, like I say, wet summers, humid, hot and humid, and dry winters. Yeah, we haven't had any fires here, knock on wood. And all it takes is one careless person with a cigarette. And often it's usually a tourist, right? They're smoking a cigarette, they throw it out the window, and it lands into the grass on the side of the road. And then before you know it, it burns up into the brush and gets up into the trees. And they just kind of drive away and they turn on the news and they say, oh, there's a forest fire on Salt Spring Island. Hey, that's funny. I was driving by that area. I think that's where I threw my cigarette out. It's pretty crazy, isn't it? A lot of forest fires here are caused by careless smokers. And that's pretty sad. You know, it doesn't bother as much when they're started by lightning, but when they're started by a careless smoker, that's not good. Not good at all. And like I say, we are high right now. Forest fire rating is high. I can't wait until... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when we're going to travel. Like, we're going to travel around our province, stay coastal, go over to the Big Island. But I don't know when we're going to be going back to Maui. When are we going back to Maui?
Anybody knows.
We don't know. Nobody really knows. It's kind of up in the air right now. I think you have to have one of those little passports. Once you get your jab, then you get a little passport and it says, and you get a little sticker and a little badge and it says you've been jabbed and you've got the juice, and then you can go hop on a plane or whatever, right? So I don't know when that's going to happen. See, like I said, I'm last in line and sitting on the fence, so I guess I won't be doing any long distance traveling anytime soon. I see they've still got the borders closed for another month, which I think is kind of ridiculous. Just let people cross the border. I mean, it's a lot of states are opened up already. Come on, get with it, Canada. Got their vaccine by summer, you probably travel in fall. Yeah, same with Canada too. People that got it are probably going to travel, but I don't have it and I'm not getting it, so I probably won't travel. Well, I'll travel within our province. We can travel to Vancouver Island. I noticed if we had a mountain range, Oregon, Maine, it would... Oh God, yeah, it would be total. You wouldn't have any... You would not have any cold air coming down from the Arctic, right? Like, it's like us. We don't get any cold air coming from the east. It doesn't happen. Our cold air comes from the north, from Alaska, right? Our cold air comes when Alaska opens her doors up. So I always got to watch in the wintertime when it's really cold in the Gulf of Alaska. That's when you got to start to worry here. So when it's minus 40 in the Gulf of Alaska, you have to really worry down here on the south coast because if the jet stream changes, it pulls that cold air right down and it sits right over top and it flows right over our coast. It'll go down to Washington and Oregon and even into Northern California. And that's where we get our deep freezes. That cold, dry air comes down and mixes with the warm, moist Pacific air and usually dumps on us in snow. And then we get the old deep freeze. And as it clears, you get the clear high pressure, and that's when it gets really cold. So that's where we need a mountain range too. But unfortunately, we're never going to have one like that. Is there a giant Great Lake in the south? Then it would be. If there was a giant Great Lake in the south, then it would be. Yeah. If you had the Great Lakes there near Tennessee, then it would be a totally different climate again, unless the lakes froze. But that far south, I highly doubt the Great Lakes would ever freeze. So a big lake, a body of water that far south would probably never ever freeze. In Ontario, the Great Lakes can freeze at times, and it takes a bad freeze, but they have frozen before. But if you live by a giant body of water, it would definitely change the climate, and your climate growing zone would probably go up, I bet you, by 2 for sure. You'd probably be like 9 or 10 there easily. And you would be growing a lot different things because that water is like that heat bank and it would regulate those winter air temperatures and you never would get that cold. You probably would rarely or ever get frost. Maybe you would never get frost, so time to start digging a lake. Get your excavators out. You get in cahoots with all the other states around you to the north and you start digging a massive lake. You start now, you're a young guy. By the time you're my age, the lake will be done and you can start planting some coconut palms, right? Deep too, a deep lake, and it will probably fill up with water. Throw some fish in there too. Throw some, I don't know, I guess you got catfish and largemouth bass. I'm back, Palms USA. I like catfish. Have any of you guys ever eaten catfish before? I've tried southern catfish once, and it was like the most awesome fish I tried. It was on a cruise ship, and one day they had catfish. I says, I've always wanted to try catfish. Catfish is good. I really liked it. And not everybody gets to try catfish. I guess in the deep south, a lot of people eat catfish, right? I'm back, Palms USA. So I don't know. I guess what time are we going, Wendy?
I think we should leave here.
5?
Yeah, 5 to 5.
Okay, so I will cut this stream short in a few more minutes because Wendy and I have to head out. We all need a massive earthquake from the fault line and we'll have to huge bay. There you go. You see? A massive one that actually separates you from the north and the south. And then this big crack forms across and fills up with water. And then you would have a totally different climate for sure. Wouldn't that be nice? That would be freaking awesome. Kiss the baby. Mike's in there too. You're catching me on the tail end of this. Best way to kill a juniper tree. I should pull out my chainsaw for you. If I lived next to you, I would cut it down. You know what? The nicest junipers here are the native ones. We have one called a Rocky Mountain juniper, and it's actually a very beautiful, slow-growing tree. And they grow here sporadically on Salt Spring Island and rocky soil, but extremely slow. So there's some big ones that grow in town on the rock, and there's a big one growing beside Mowat Hardware Store. And I got a picture of Mowat Hardware Store in 1961. And I look at that tree in 1961 in the picture, and I look at that tree now, and it's not that much difference in size. That's 60 years, and it's not that much bigger. It's crazy. That's how slow Rocky Mountain junipers grow. The crack is actually possible where I live. I live literally close to where the North American continent tried to. Really? Well, there you go. So you can pray and wish for that to split open that crack and fill with water, as long as that crack isn't detrimental to you or your family or swallow you up. So if the crack is north of you and it fills up with water, that would be pretty awesome. How's Palm Nation? A spanner. Zach. Totes Toasty. The people who built this neighborhood planted junipers. Oh, okay. So they planted the juniper. Yeah, I don't like junipers. Are you talking about like low growing junipers? I don't like those plants at all. I absolutely can't stand them. They should be illegal here to plant.
Back in the 70s.
They were 70s. They're like a 70s plant. Yeah, in my last house, I had when we bought the place, there was some junipers in there and they got big and there were these low spreading, ugly junipers. They were just they're just so ugly. Yeah, 30 miles away from the new Madrid. Oh, really? Okay, cool. I think there's probably a fault line that comes up through here too, isn't there?
There is.
The same fault line that goes through California. Got to go for dinner. Okay, see you later, Palms USA. We will see you tomorrow. Yeah, low growing June. Yeah, they you got to get really low there, Camel, with a chainsaw or a nice sharp saw. Blocked me for mostly because I support Toast. Who? I never heard of Toasty. Toasty Daniel blocked me for mostly
What?
because I. Well, I support Israel too. There's nothing wrong with supporting Israel. What? Who is Toasty Dan? Toasty. I never heard of them before. I thought maybe that was Bigfoot in disguise. What's wrong with supporting Israel? Is that bad? Is that a bad thing? I didn't think it was a bad thing, is it? Can I pour salt? You probably could. Camel who likes cocoa palm. Okay. Bye, guys. Bye bye. Palms USA. Take care. Nice to have you in there, Palms USA. Toasty is Simon Newton. Simon Newton. Don't tell Zach. Simon Newton.
Don't tell Zach.
Don't. Simon Newton. I don't even know Simon Newton. I've never seen that name in here before. Okay. Yeah. See you later, Palms USA. Cheers to you. Toasty. Where are you, Toasty? I've never seen you in here on the live stream before. What is your QTH? That is location. Apparently, he doesn't like the fact I side and thinks I'm. What's wrong with Israel? I thought Israel's good, isn't it? I don't know. I don't really follow that world stuff very much, but I always thought Israel was a good place, isn't it? Oh, he's from England. Okay. Huh. Well, wasn't Syria kind of sending over missiles to Israel, or was it the other way around? I don't know. Was it something like that? I'm not too sure. You guys fill me in. You guys are kind of like my news too, right? I mean, I know they're always kind of like in cahoots, like or at war with the Gaza Strip, Syria, right? Is that what's going on? Israel is the only good place in the Middle East. Palm, why would you be a? Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with Israel. What fans do you have in your green? What, Joe? What fans do you have in your greenhouse? What fans? I have a dual Sunbeam. I think they're actually Sunbeam. And you know, I bought those, and I've gone through a lot of fans. I bought those on eBay for about $36. Probably about five. I'm guessing those things have been going steady for 5 years, and the only time they shut off is if we have a power outage. So they're dual Sunbeam fans, and they are absolutely awesome.
You just put a new one in.
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
Those fans have been going in there for 5 years.
No, but I know we went and we bought one.
I never bought those. Those I bought on eBay. I bought those on eBay, those fans in my greenhouse. Never bought them at a store. Those dual fans have been from eBay. I ordered them. They came in the mail. Yeah. No, not for the greenhouse. We didn't. No, those have been in there 5 years, going steady, double fans. I probably have videos of them here. If you don't believe me, you can watch the videos. Israel can exist like anyone else, but they can't get out of West Bank. Oh, the West Bank. Oh, West Bank and the Gaza Strip. Camel likes cool is not really what is going on. Unfortunately, seems like Gaza is beyond. Yeah, that is a crazy place. The Gaza Strip in Syria, man. It's like so worn torn. It's like Max Lax. Hey, Joe, do y'all have any native animals on? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We have raccoon, deer, mountain lion, which is cougar. There's some elk here that swam over. Once in a while, bear come over. We have mink. We have wild turkeys. We have lizards. We have quail, California quail. Vultures, turkey vultures, bald eagles, golden eagles, barred owls. Do we have screech owls?
Yeah.
Screech owls.
And we have the big horned.
We have horned owls, and we have hawks, falcons. We have falcons. And lots of stuff in the ocean around us, of course, like otters. We have river otters. We have sea otters are more north and on the west coast. We have sea lions. There's killer whales. There's dolphins. There's porpoise. White-sided dolphins, dolls, porpoise. So, and there's snakes. There's lots of snakes here, but they're not poisonous. Oh, yes. And rats. We have rats. We have lots of rats. Four-legged ones, and we have two-legged rats. There's lots of two-legged ones and four-legged ones.
Donkeys.
They're not native. Rats are not native. They were imported. Doesn't exist, not in existed. Greeks, Romans took it up. The future is electric for bikes. Scary episode. Yeah. Wendy's bike will go pretty fast. She's got a really nice electric bike. Oh, yeah, we have rabbits too, blast off, but they're not native to here. They were introduced, and they are bad news. The rabbits are really bad, especially if they get into your garden. They will clear cut everything. Okay, so the deer eat all the bigger stuff, and the rabbits will go right in there. So if you have palm seedlings, you had sable minor seedlings, or you have Trekkie seedlings, the rabbits will just chew them right off. You know what they did to
Even
one of my
blue
camarops? They
ones.
chewed all the leaves off of it.
Yeah.
Little camarops, they ate all the leaves off. It looks like somebody took scissors and chopped it off. But you know the good thing with rabbit, you can eat rabbits. So a place was controlled by another country. It's not a country. Yeah, Wendy does have an electric bike, but you gotta ride it soon. You really have to actually take it out for a ride. No, I don't need to get my thing ready. You can still take it out for a ride.
It's
You know,
far, it's heavy.
it doesn't matter. You can just wheel it up here. You're just wheeling it up the thing here.
Okay, we'll do it this weekend.
And the guys that walk around the tractor, just like every time they see me,
Okay,
they're like this, and I've got to tell them, no, it's still in your living room. I go, yeah.
They think it's a joke.
Russ and Barry, every time they see me, they're like this. This is what they do. They walk around the track, these older retired guys, and they go like this. They go like this, and I go, no, not yet. And I says, well, you said last week. I said, yeah, I do.
Don't do that.
Likes Israel because he thinks the girls.
We'll get it out this week. How's that?
Israeli girls are cute too, I guess. Palestine and Israel both. Palestine and Israel. Is Palestine like geography there? I know where Israel is, and I know Syria is beside Israel. Is Palestine, is that classed as Syria, or is it beside that? Give me the dirt, guys. Clue me in here. You seem to know more about the Middle East than I do. You know, it's funny. I don't even really talk to the Middle East on my radio.
South Carolina, each state is basically its own country. The United States long run isn't.
That's probably why they had that the flag back then, and people are really upset with it too. The Dixie flag. What do they call that one? The one that I liked that was on the Dukes of Hazzard vehicle. Palestine is surrounded by Israel and Jordan. Okay, there we go, Bastar. Thank you.
Who likes Coca-Cola?
I like Israel. Matter of fact, we had some guy from Israel stay at our B&B once, and he was like the nicest guy. He actually cooked us dinner one time in our wood stove. He says, is it okay? I'm going to make this Israeli dish, and can I use your wood stove? So we brought him up into the living room, and he cooks us this dinner in our wood stove. He actually put this eggplant in the wood stove and charred it a little bit, and he made this amazing dinner for us. This guy from Israel, he's like the nicest guy. I've met a few people from Israel, and they seem like super nice people.
Grows because they want the land, even though millions of people live there.
So that's how it works. Yeah, I don't really follow politics all that much. Interesting. Okay. You know, there's a lot of history in Israel too, right? It'd be actually a really cool place to see.
Nation, I like Israel. I don't support the way they handle Palestine.
I just know that Syria is really war-torn.
Israel tried many times, but the Palestinians,
Hamas
rejecting any, unfortunately.
Yeah, we do. We do have some. Wendy's got a bunch of it. She's got to transplant it. She grows it every year. So, yeah, there's a bunch of them coming up. They're about this big. And she actually put the seeds in my seed flat of Trachycarpus wagnerianus. So I potted up all the Trachycarpus wagnerianus that were about this big. There's still some more waggies coming up in there. And now it's full of her plants. Joe, I guess, no, there's never been any war-torn stuff up here. It's, trust me, no.
Israel blocked Gaza off everything and keeps.
Interesting. Very interesting discussion, guys. I'm just kind of sitting back and reading here. Yeah, no, we're definitely not war-torn. We got good neighbors to the south of us, too. We have the U.S., and the U.S. are very good neighbors. So I'm very fortunate that we live next to the United States because I have a lot of good friends that live in the U.S., and I can't wait till they open the borders up again because I got a good friend that lives down in Washington State, and I want him to come up and visit, and vice versa. I want to go down and visit him. He's in Olympia, Washington. He moved here from Baltimore, Maryland last June, so he's been here just about a year now. He bought a place in Olympia, Washington, and it's our good friend Justin we meet up with on Maui every year, and he's been here. He stayed at our B&B, and I really want Justin to come back up here again. And I really enjoy going down to the States too. I mean, that's where I vacation. I vacation in the States because it's safe, right? I know a lot of people here love to vacation to Mexico, but I rather go to the States.
Syria literally murders their own people.
Really? Is that what they do? That's crazy. Killing their own people for fun. That is not good, man. Not good.
Maybe Arab League.
Not good at all. I mean, none of that's good. War is not a good thing. It really isn't. And I know there's always a lot of wars going on in different parts of the world. It's just not a good thing.
No.
In the Congo too. Not good. I know it was really bad in Rwanda a few years back too. Rwanda, it was just really, really bad. And thank God we live in places like this and we don't have any of that crazy stuff going on. Really. I mean, life goes on as usual here. I'm sitting here chatting with you guys and there's no Scud missiles or whatever flying over top. And I haven't even seen a jet for several days. There was some there several days ago, but I've not seen any airplanes or jets fly over here in the last few days.
Didn't you see the past few decades where they just chemically attacked?
No way, that's crazy, man. That is sick. Chemically attacking their own city. Is that Syria? Is that what Syria does? That is nasty. That is nasty. Using chemical weapons on their own people? Not good, man. Not good. Not a good way to kick the bucket, I'll tell you that. I think I'd rather impale myself on a sharp yucca. Possibly a datil yucca. Well, maybe a Spanish bayonet. That's the way I want to go. That's not a good thing, man, when you start doing that to your own people.
That's literally
other. There's a lot of moderators in here, but that's all right. I let them take care of things. I just kind of sit back and I like to read the comments. I should have my reading glasses on. The sun is coming down here and it's actually coming through. Wendy's got this really nice yellow patio umbrella she put up and the sun is kind of blasting through it right now. And it's bright. Like the umbrella is bright. I looked out at dusk and it looked like the sun was out. That's how bright this thing is.
Coca-Cola, same Cambodian genocide ended years ago.
I'd like to see Cambodia. I'd like to go to Vietnam, actually. Ethiopian. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on in Africa, isn't there? My daughter visited Africa probably about 4 years ago. She went to Tunisia and she actually really liked it. That's Northern Africa. And she actually had a blast. I was kind of worried about her going there, but she flew over from England because she was living in England. She lived in Cornwall, and her and her husband flew over to Tunisia, and they absolutely loved it there. And it looked like a really cool place, cheap place to stay too.
A few years ago because of chemical attacks. Coca-Cola in trouble. Chemical attacks got to be the worst. Friends,
terrorism. And terrorism's not good either, right? Terrorism is not good. You can't see what I'm reading? Oh, God, I'm reading the same thing as yours. So Camel likes Coke. It is good religious country. I have friends there, but terrorism is taking over parts of the country. That's what I'm reading, Toasty. Toasty, and I can see yours too. I can't see what you're reading. Yeah, I'm just reading all the comments that are popping up to the side. You should be able to see exactly what I'm seeing. I can see your comments, Toasty. That's what it says. Can you see my comments? Yes, I can see your comments. The comments should be coming up the side, or if you're on an iPhone, they're going to be at the bottom of your iPhone, right? So there you go. You guys should be able to see exactly what I'm seeing, right? Syria is its own problem. I think so. Man. I mean, whenever I see it, when I do watch the news, it just looks so worn torn. Every time I see Syria, God, you got to feel for those people there, man. It just looks like a bombed out country. All the buildings are decrepit. There's bomb holes in them. It's not good. Lebanon, I think, used to be like that too, didn't it? Libya, Lebanon. I think Syria is worse though. Yeah, it's not good. I'm glad we are in North America here. It's a pretty safe place to be. I don't particularly like the way our country's being run right now, but hopefully the guy running the country will get the boot one day and we'll get somebody better in there. So I guess Syria has a president, Palm Nation? Must be the president of Syria. And I'm guessing they're a very poor country too. They'd have to be a very poor country, right? I mean, usually when I listen to the news now, it's all about the I'll say the mandemic, right? It's what's going on. Whenever I listen to the news, you don't really hear about that stuff anymore. It's all about the other thing. Our king, oh God, our prime minister, no, I don't. I think he needs to retire or something, resign.
Tried to kill my.
Oh, Russia did that too. Russia can be nasty too, can't they? I don't think we've ever had anybody in the live stream from Russia. The Pudemic. Maybe that's what I'll call it, the Pudemic. Some people call it the Plandemic. We'll call it the Pudemic. Ah,
Pretty but Trudeau.
yeah, I don't like the guy, unfortunately. I remember when his dad, back in the 1970s, his dad was prime minister. Trudeau's not good, man. That guy's almost like communist to me. I don't like it. I really don't like it at all. And a lot of people are getting really sick of it. So hopefully next election, bye-bye, gone. We'll get somebody a lot better running the country. I don't like with all these restrictions. They say a free country, BS. It doesn't seem that way anymore with this guy around. He's probably doing what he wants, but nobody else can do what they want. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of done with it. And like Palm Nation said, the Pudemic. Yes. Pretty boy. Yeah, he is a pretty boy. Trudeau is, yes, he is Palm Nation. He is. A lot of people do not like the guy. They are sick and tired of him. He's a joke, man.
Didn't he go to the Caribbean at the?
Yeah, I think he did, Bastar. Well, no, it's okay for him. He can do that. But if you and I did that, we'd be in big trouble. We couldn't do that. But he can do that. When you're in higher power, it's not a problem, And people will ask questions later on, of course, right?
Canada's population is so small, I don't even know how.
Well, really, the survival rate of it is near 99%. You know what I mean? So it's like a bad flu. Yeah, it's out there. The population of Canada is, what is it, 37 million or something like that?
He can go. What does that say? All my Canadian.
Oh, same with here too. Palm Nation. I'm with your friends. I can't stand the guy. Think he's a total buffoon. Yeah, and I don't like the guy. At first, I thought he was okay, but I don't anymore. I don't like what he's done.
Didn't that one Texas government go to Cancun, Texas?
Yeah, no, he didn't lose any power. No, he's still in, man. He's still running the country the way he wants, of course. But it's unbelievable. There are a few people that actually like the guy, and I'm not one of those people.
American seem to love him.
Really? They like Trudeau? I didn't think there's any Americans that like Trudeau.
Ted Cruz is a Canadian.
Who's Ted Cruz? I know that name. Okay, Palm name 99.9. There we go. Okay, there you go. 99.96 survival rate. Hey, that's good enough for me. So do you want to take your chances on the juice and get a chance of getting a blood clot, or do you want to just risk getting the other one where the survival rate is just about 100%? I think I'm going to go for the other one, like Palm Nation said. Yeah.
Basically, I like leader who cares about the people. If people,
Trudeau doesn't care about the people. He cares about himself. And I shouldn't be bad mouthing him, but that's just the way it is. And I'm not, like I said, there's a lot of people that feel exactly the same way as me. So when I go onto the CBC, go to Facebook and go to CBC News and read the comments. And a lot of them are negativity towards him. A lot of guys just want the guy out of there. A lot of the people that post there, most of them want the guy out of there. We need a new leader. Hands down, he's got to go.
Every politician is a moment. Like,
yeah, they are. I mean, they tell you all this good stuff you want to hear, and then you get them in, and then they start giving you all this crap and BS.
What's your other kings before?
We don't have any kings. We have prime ministers. No kings here in Canada. They have the Queen of England, but she doesn't do anything. She's nothing to us. Yeah, but the only thing that really worries me, Mac Attack, is SM-102. Okay, SM-102 is in those, and it's pretty scary stuff. So, like I say, I'm sitting at the end of the line. I'm sitting on the fence, and at the end of the line, I'm with Palm Nation and a few other of my friends. Definitely.
Most politicians are hypocrites.
They are hypocrites. They are definitely hypocrites, and he is one of them. So, to get elected, I could run for, let's say I'm running for prime minister. I'm going to tell you guys everything you want to hear. Joe's awesome. That guy's going to make an awesome prime minister. And then once I'm into power, all that stuff I promised you, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. And then I got my own agenda, right?
I heard you didn't like Steve Harper.
Steve Harper. Yeah, another idiot too.
Most politicians are, I don't care about politics.
Yeah, I'm not much into politics either. I'm not much into it either myself. And there are people that are big time into politics and they get into heated discussions over it. So, you know what I mean? I can tell you one thing, the guy that's running our country hasn't done a lot of good for our country. And it's going to be nice when he is gone and we can get somebody better in there. I just hope there is somebody better than him to run the country. You know what I mean? And get it back to normal again. Because to me, it's not normal right now. It's just definitely not normal. I don't like restrictions, really. I don't.
I actually don't see how anybody wanted to vote for.
Oh, that guy. He's pretty old, isn't he? He's like a crispy. He's like, isn't that guy like 80 something years old? Man, hopefully he lives another year. Joe, you run. Yeah, run for country. Well, I tell you what, if I ran for prime minister, it would be a totally different place. It probably would be more like the US. You know what I mean? It would be right now, to me, some of our freedoms have been taken away and all that would come back. And I'd also legalize a lot more things. There'd be a lot more things legal, right? So there'd be half the country would hate me and half the country would love me. I think the rednecks would like me. The redneck people would probably like me because I am redneck. So, but you know what I mean? Palm Nation would probably vote for me if he was up here.
Nation and spreads are equally as bad. If you're doing it for the money, you shouldn't.
I wouldn't do it for the money. I would try to make it a better place and a happier place too. And you don't want to be hated when you're in power. I really don't know much about Joe Biden. I honestly don't. I just know he's some old dude and he's in power now. So I just hope he does you guys some good. I don't know what he's done so far. He's only been in power since January. Has he done any good yet? Palm Nation, has Joe Biden done any good for the US? Did you sell more palms because of Oh yeah, no, I sell a lot of palm trees, and there was actually customers here today. And well, you know what? There's less people from off island coming to buy the palms because they tell you not to travel, right? But I still sell a fair bit of palms. Yeah, maybe a few more I've sold, maybe a little bit more, not much.
Again, at the end of the day, none of give a crap about us.
Yeah, that's true, to Bestar. Thanks, Blastoff. Cool. Yeah, I'll wait it out though. So it's only in the Moderna. Okay, I'll wait it out, Mac Attack.
The election in America this year was whoever is a bigger bozo. New Jersey bombs. Joe Biden literally made things worse for the U.S. Now we have all
that. See, that's not good, Palm Nation. When you get a leader that makes things worse, that is not a good thing. And unfortunately, that guy's in for 4 years, right? I don't know. How many years left does Trudeau have? Can you guys tell me? Is he in for another year? The Canadians, Bastar, how many more years is Trudeau have in power? Hopefully, not very many. You don't want problems in the country. That's for sure. Well, yeah, I was hoping Joe Biden would do some good for you guys, and I'm sorry to hear that he's not doing good. I don't know. It's unfortunately, yeah, a lot of people voted the guy in. I really don't know much about the guy. Like I say, I just know he's an older guy. That's all I know.
He's in as long as people vote for.
Yeah, that's true, Bastar. So, well, they have a 4-year term. Bastar, the Trudeau has a 4-year term. How many years has he been in already? Is it like 3 years? So they could revote him back in again, right? Like if there's another election, yeah, he could get voted back in. But if somebody's running against him that's better, they could come in too. Oh man, the sun is getting my eyes. Economy was booming. We had peace in the Middle East. Man, it knew impossible. Oh, that's sad, man. So, so Biden has screwed a few things up. Trump, huh? Interesting. Yeah, you know what? They're all politicians, and I know they all get paid well, and a lot of them do good, and a lot of them do bad. Some of the guys that we really like do good and bad. Trudeau, I'm trying to figure out what he did good. You know what I mean? I know the girls like him; they think he's this great-looking guy, and maybe he should have been a model or something, or maybe modeling clothes, but not running the country. But you know, he's going to retire with a good pension. They get a really good pension. Okay, so what time are we going, Wendy? Soon, right? Well, okay.
Trump is going to be part of Alaskan Wildlife Reserve. Maybe we shouldn't have very old people in.
Well, he is pretty old. Like Biden's got to be like 80 years old, right? And that's pretty old to vote a guy. And Trump was a lot younger. I found Trump amusing. I thought Trump was great to watch. It was entertainment. When I watched Trump, I thought that guy was entertaining. It's kind of like watching a YouTube video, right? It's free entertainment. And he was good. He was good to watch. And I used to watch him on The Apprentice. You're fired.
I found Trump amusing. Unemployment was real low during his term.
Yes, it was. And he was definitely amusing. That's for sure. Yeah. Well, you know what? Trump could get back into power again, right? Because he didn't get impeached. So he could actually probably run for president again. So when Biden's term is up, Trump could be back in power. It's possible, right? Am I correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. He could run again. And it wouldn't surprise me if he got back in.
Who else is there?
Huh?
Who else?
I don't know. That's the problem. You get a lot of buffoons running for, like, I don't know who would be running against Trudeau. If there's another election, who are we going to get instead of Trudeau? Is he going to be worse? Can somebody be worse than Trudeau?
Bomb Nation and Camel Code left divided the nation. What? Going on since 1776.
Yeah, I kind of miss watching Trump on TV. When I did watch the news, which was rare, or listening to him, I used to read his tweets. See, I followed Trump on Twitter, and I loved reading Trump's tweets, but I think they banned him from Twitter and they banned him from Facebook. His tweets, that guy was tweeting every day, and he had like thousands or millions of likes on the thing, right? And I thought they were great to read. Basically, Trump just said it like it was.
Left and they're both parties. Like I said,
yeah, politics, yeah. (1776) when they signed the Declaration of Independence, right? And didn't John Henry put his name on there? John Henry, right? And 1976 was the bicentennial of the U.S. And in 1976, now a lot of you guys don't remember because you weren't born. In 1976, I bought some special bicentennial $2 bills from the U.S. and I still have them. And I got a sheet of 4. I got a sheet of 4 American $2 bills from 1976, and it shows them on the back signing the Declaration of Independence. And it's a block, an uncut sheet. And they are 45 years old now. It's hard to believe they're 45 years old. I was 12 years old when I bought those in 1976, and I still have them. And they're mint. They're crisp. They've never been folded.
Yeah, a certain group of people has been trying to destroy America. 1776. There's a bad president on this side and a bad president on the other side, people.
Well, we got a bad prime minister. No president here. We got a bad prime minister. So I don't know. One day he's going to be out. Somebody will get him voted out, and then there'll be somebody else in here. And I just pray, like I say, that the new guy that comes in is going to do a lot better than the guy that's in there right now. Only one way to find out, right? After the election. So anyway, guys, I'll go for another few minutes, and then I got to get ready to go. It is we're streaming for just about 2 hours here. It kind of lost the connection a couple of times during the stream, but it's funny how these palm and weather and travel get into politics sometimes too. But what is it?
It's a ginger beer.
If you want, I'm not going to drink any.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't want to drink any.
Joe, you should, for prime minister, make everyone.
I would. If you live, that would be the rule. If you lived on the West Coast, you have to plant a palm tree. If you live anywhere else in Canada, yeah, you can plant palm trees too. You'd have to protect them. That is the rule. Could you imagine that? I don't know. I probably wouldn't get voted in. But I would definitely change a few things. I'd bring a few things back. You know, like I grew up, I love firecrackers at Halloween. They got banned years ago, back when I was a kid, about 1975. I was about 11 years old. They banned firecrackers. I love firecrackers for Halloween. So I'd bring firecrackers back. You know what I mean? And yeah, with parental supervision for younger kids. If you want to be stupid and stick them in your ear, well, you can't fix stupid. You know what I mean? That's the people that win the Darwin Awards. Those are the people that got firecrackers banned. So I would bring firecrackers back. I think I would bring it back where you don't have to get a PAL. You could go to the store, and if you want to go target practicing, you can go buy a gun. I don't say you're going to buy a submachine gun, but you could go out and buy a rifle if you want to do some hunting or something, right? You know what I mean? That's the way it used to be. I liked it when it was like that.
I don't even know those were banned.
Firecrackers were banned. Fireworks are still here. You can get fireworks, but firecrackers were banned around 1975. Firecrackers are the little ones that go bang, 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 bang. You know, you get a strip of them or a brick of them. I still got a lot of them.
80s. Actually, what you got with Trump? And then
Political parties do got unbanned here. Really? Yeah, fireworks have never been banned here, New Jersey. It's firecrackers. And you know the stupid thing? Fireworks can be just as dangerous as firecrackers because you can get a Roman candle and you can shoot it at somebody and burn them or blow their eyeball out. And I got these things called air bombs, which are fireworks. They shoot like 100 feet into the air and they explode. You know, I mean, that is totally dangerous. But yet, you can't go out and buy any lady fingers or atom crackers or this and that or black cats or any of the other firecrackers because they are dangerous because people throw them at each other or they hold them in their hand or they stick them in their mouth. But those are stupid people. If you want to put a firecracker in your ear, be my guest. If you want to be that dumb. So yeah, I would bring back firecrackers. Definitely. They were fun and I would buy them. Yeah, you see Roman candle fights. Exactly. So, and I've seen people do it. Yeah, I love firecrackers, man. They were just, my dad used to take me at Halloween, just before Halloween. He'd take me to this Chinese farmer dude in Ladner. So I lived on Lulu Island and we go to Chung Chuck. The guy's name was Chung Chuck. And he was actually a potato farmer. But every Halloween, he had this like firecracker warehouse. And you'd go there and it was in this old barn. And you'd pick out what you wanted. And dad would always buy me a brick of mixed firecrackers. So I'd get Thunderbolt bombs, or atom. They're called. Were they thunder bombs? Thunder crackers. They were a 6-inch giant firecracker. I mean, they'd blow your fingers off. And then you get me atoms. I get atoms, lady fingers. I would get black cats. All these different things you could buy, and there would be like sometimes 100 in a package. There'd be 50 in a package, 80 in a package, and I had so much fun blowing off. So when my friends finished trick or treating, they would come over to my house when they were kids, and we'd blow off firecrackers. I never got hurt because I was smart. I never got hurt. I never stuck them in my ear. I never stuck them up my nose. And dad told me how to use them properly. But all the dumb people, they got hurt. And that's why they're banned. They got them banned for the rest. They ruined it for the rest of us. And it sucks. Air bombs so loud. Yeah, they still sell air bombs here. And the fact that people would sue the company after putting fire. Yeah, I know. You know, so that's the thing. There's a warning on it. And if you want to be dumb and put a firecracker up your nose and blow your nose off, like I said, you cannot fix stupid. So I would totally unban firecrackers. And there's a lot of other things I would unban. I'd make a lot of things legal again. And if you want to be stupid, that's your own thing. It's only common sense. So when I light a Roman candle, I put it in a bucket of sand, I light it, and I get away from it and I let it do a thing. I don't hold it. You know what I mean? I don't shoot anybody with the Roman candle. Yeah, we used to do some pretty stupid things when we were younger. You know, like get the screecher fireworks and you'd bang them down the ends and you tape them up and they'd screech for a little bit, then they'd explode like a bomb. You know what I mean? So that was not the smartest thing to do. And I did actually have one. I lit it and the wick went so fast and it was dark out. It was at Halloween. This was like about 40 years ago. And it blew off in the end of my hands. And I swear to God, my fingers were numb. So I was holding a Bic lighter trying to see if my fingers were still there. They were black and blue. And that was the last time I did that. So I was put them on the ground and light them and get the heck away. This is why laws can be dumb. Yes. Yeah, screecher down the sewer. Screecher down the sewer. Yeah, laws can be. So, and people do sue for everything too, Camel. You're right. So I bet you where Zach lives, you can go to the store at Halloween or wherever and 4th of July and buy firecrackers. You can buy them in Washington State, just across the border. You can go to any native reservation and you can buy firecrackers. Here, it's fireworks. Indian reservations sell fireworks year round here, but no firecrackers. And to me, like I said, fireworks are just as dangerous as firecrackers, but they're not banned. You know, and it doesn't make sense to me. I don't know who makes up these rules. There's been just as many people hurt with fireworks, shot in the eyeballs, or the mouth, or the stomach, or the head with Roman candles. Smoke bombs on the back of a skateboard. Yeah, I remember the smoke bombs. Yes. This is why it worked. That was better. Yeah, I like animals too. Smoke bombs on the back of my skateboard 30 years ago. Hey, Totes, see, I still have my original skateboard. They don't actively do. Yeah, they don't. That's right. Animals are quite smart. And unfortunately, well, I'm going to say fortunately, I like a lot more animals than I do people. right? Especially our little dog. When I get home from work, the little dog greets me. I'm gone for 8 hours or 9 hours, whatever it is, and he's waiting at the gate, greets me. He's so happy. It's like I've been gone for a million years. And even if I go for 5 or 10 minutes, same thing. He greets me the same way as I've been gone for 8 or 9 hours. And that's why I like little dogs or big dogs. Cats are good. I like all animals. All animals are good.
Outside of your bicycle and just ride. Yeah, smoke bomb. The big tube ones. Enjoy your evening, Joe.
Okay, take care. I got to roll. It's just about time to go here. 2 hours of streaming. I got to get ready to go drive to the very south end of the island, and I might shoot a video of the pizza oven. You know what? If I don't shoot a video of this fancy schmancy pizza oven, they're going to cook some pizza in this pizza oven from Italy. Wendy's going to shoot a video and it'll be on Gulf Island Rock. So everybody in there, thanks. I know sometimes our discussions get a little heated. Yeah, that's okay. But yeah, we all love each other. And that's what it's all about. Take everything with a grain of salt. It's just YouTube. It's just entertainment. You guys are very knowledgeable. Palm Nation, yeah, he knows his politics. He knows his history. That's good. And the rest of you guys in there too. Thanks for joining in. Bastar and Camel and Toasty. And who else is in there? Palms USA is gone. Mac Attack's in there. And who am I missing? Who am I missing in there? Yeah, see ya, Camel. I don't know who I'm missing in there. If I missed anybody, see you later, Jane. I know Jane was in there from Hawaii. And Palms USA was in there. Palmy Pal might have been in there. Max Lax was in there. Palm Nation might be gone now. See you later. Bastar. Got a little duck there. Got a little cross. See ya. Thanks for coming in and joining in the live stream. And I will see you guys next time. Take care, Bastar. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the rest of your long weekend, Canadian friends and my American friends. If it's a long weekend up here this weekend, I think my American friends are having a long weekend next weekend. That's the way it works, right? So next weekend, I bet you it's a long weekend in the States. Correct me if I'm wrong, right, Camel? It's got to be a long weekend in the States next week. It's some sort of special holiday you're having. I'm guessing it has to be. It seems like you always have one right after us. All right. See you guys later. Cheers and aloha. And have a great day. It's definitely warmer out here now. The side of this patio umbrella. So time to go. Bye from the Isle of Wight. Oh, I'd love to go to the Isle of Wight. The Isle of Wight. The early settlers here that came from England used to compare Salt Spring Island to the Isle of Wight to get more tourists or more settlers to come from England. The Isle of Wight. We had one of the first reverends on Salt Spring Island in the 1800s came from the Isle of Wight. All right. Take care, you guys, and I will see you next time. Time to end the stream. It's getting bright here. Cheers.